What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be talking about my personal favorite top 10 superhero films. Now, if you watch this video and say, hey, where's this movie? Well, that's the beauty of opinions. We each entitled to one. So, check this video out. I think you might like some selections that are on my list here. Probably some of your favorite as well. So here is once again my favorite 10 superhero films of all time. Coming in at number 10 is Spider-Man 2, easily the best Spider-Man film in my opinion. I love this film from the story to the characters, even some of the action scenes are pretty cool to look at. Tobey Maguire is an awesome Spider-Man. And he's backed up by such as Alfred Molina, who plays Doc Ock, James Franco, who plays Harry Osborn, and there's Kristen Dunst, who plays Mary Jane. I really have to say that no Spider-Man films came close since this film came out 15 years ago. And the only film I could really think of that even remotely comes close to this is the first Spider-Man film, but this, they preceded everything, they doubled it. They looked at the life of Peter Parker, how him being Spider-Man ruins his social life. He gets fired in the beginning of the film from one job. He's struggling to pay rent. It's an awesome human story. I look at this film as what everything Peter Parker goes through, from losing his powers to getting them back to stop Doc Ock. This is definitely a film that I enjoy even to this day. Coming in at number 9 is X2 X-Men United. This is definitely one of the best X-Men films I saw during the time, even today. As much as I enjoy Days of Future Past, this movie here was what really cemented what a team-up film should have been. You have characters such as Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, Magneto, Iceman, Pyro. And they all have to come together and want to stop a bigger threat in terms of Stryker, who wants to wipe out the mutant menace, as he so calls it. Everyone does an amazing job in this film. Hugh Jackman shines as brightly as playing Wolverine. And the action was awesome. And the story was very cool to see. Even the opening sequence when Nightcrawler takes out all the Secret Service is personally one of my favorite scenes in an X-Men film. This is definitely a film that I would recommend to anybody who haven't seen this movie. And it's certainly a still great X-Men film even today. At the number 8 spot is Black Panther. Now, I personally believe this is one of the best superhero films to come out in the last couple of years. You have Chadwick Boseman, who does an amazing job playing the character. You have Michael B. Jordan, who is an awesome villain as Killmonger. The culture of Wakanda, everything that Black Panther does in this film to become king in order to keep his status and make sure there are no wrongdoings whatsoever. I really just enjoy this film. It's not often we get black superhero films. This was the first one in over 10 years. And certainly I was really, really happy a film like this got made, because a lot of us never thought we'd see a film like this. MCU really stepped out the box here. This is one of my personal favorite films, honestly, from last year, and I enjoy it as much as the next person does. And number 7 is Logan, Hugh Jackman's swan song as Wolverine. I personally just enjoy this film because it's a personal story about everything Logan goes through in this film. He has a little girl to take care of. He has to take care of Professor X. And the personal journey from the beginning of this film to the end definitely is a satisfying conclusion to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. As usual, Hugh Jackman is awesome in this film. So is the little girl that plays X-23, Patrick Stewart. It's just simply amazing as Professor X. Even the violence is ultra brutal as we finally get a rated R Wolverine film. And everything about this film just says success. Yeah, it's probably on a lot of other people's lists, but I just enjoy this film thoroughly because everything that Logan goes through in this film is a culmination of everything he ever been through. It's his personal story, to say the least. At number six is Captain America the Winter Soldier. Certainly one of my favorite films from Phase 2, as I believe a lot of films from that phase were weak. But this film is solid. It has solid action. It's like a spy thriller. And interesting enough, it brings in a new character. And everything from there is just simply terrific. I loved the performances of all the actors in this film, the conspiracies, everything that Captain America wants to believe in this film. And it's just, I was so awestruck by it when I first saw it. And this is definitely a film that I really believe Chris Evans shined in this film. Sure, he starred in other films before this, but this is really his best film to date, in my opinion, because he goes through questioning what are shield tactics, and he's not willing to compromise the person he is in order to get the mission done. His priorities is to help people, and that's always what Captain America has been about. Seriously, this is just an awesome film, and it's just a great MCU film altogether. Coming in at number five is The Dark Knight. Personally, the best Batman film in my opinion. Everything about this film just screams perfect, from Christian Bale's performances to Heath Ledger's Joker, and even the story of what happened to Two-Face. It's just great as is. Joker is a complex character, but he is a menace, but he do things his way. And this film really shows that. I mean, despite the Oscar-winning performance of Heath Ledger, this is a Batman film I think anybody could enjoy. You don't have to be a fan of Batman, because this film more like a crime film than it does a superhero film. I love the realistic take of it. And it's personally been my top film for a long time. And even to this day, I still enjoy it. Now, is it a little outdated? Just a tad bit. But that doesn't ruin the story for what Christopher Nolan had with this film. Everyone did an awesome job in this film, honestly. And it is at number five. At number four is Wonder Woman. Personally, one of my absolute favorite films from the DCEU. When you have the performance of Gal Gadot, then you automatically have a win in my book, because she really portrays the character in no other way I could see anybody else ever doing it as awesome as she does. Her personal story from little girl to meeting Chris Pine, Steve Trevor, and her willingness to stop the war at any means necessary. Now, this film ain't perfect. It has its issues, and there was a lot of story plot lines, and there's a few plot holes. But basically, this film is awesome. Plus, it was like DC's first big win, as it didn't get critically panned like the other films before it. And everything that happens in this movie definitely says it's copying the first Captain America movie to some degree. I love the war zone of it, and it's just an awesome film all around. And number three is Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Now, I know a lot of people hate this film, but I personally adored it. Yeah, it has its issues, but you can't overlook the amazing action in this film, the awesome performances of Gal Gadot, and then you have Henry Cavill, and of course, last but not least, Ben Affleck, who does an amazing Batman. Now, I know Batman really is not supposed to kill, but his ways are understood to some degree. And everything about this film is not perfect. There are some issues I have with it. You can watch the review on my channel to see what I mean by it. But personally, this film right here set the way of future crossovers, if you will, in terms of DC, whether it be on TV or on film. And I just personally have a amazing time watching this film every time, especially the Ultimate Cut. But there definitely are some issues with this movie, but this hasn't been a superhero film that has profounded and affected me as much as this movie has. That's why it's so high up on this list. At the number two spot is Man of Steel. Personally, this movie here is my favorite Superman film of all time. From the amazing performance of Henry Cavill to finally having a Superman action film, this film definitely delivers on a lot of aspects. Yeah, it has its issues. A lot of people didn't like this movie, especially that controversial ending to this film. But I just love this film because it had such a profound effect on me when I first saw it back in 2013. No film, but no, let me correct that. No Superman film beforehand had that sense of wonder like this film has. Sure, you had the old Superman films, but those movies were outdated. This brought Superman into the 21st century, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoy his personal journey from the normal, ordinary guy who wanted normal life to his ascension to becoming a superhero. And no, he doesn't actually become like Superman per se, the character wise, but definitely I enjoy a lot about this film, and I even watch it every once in a while because it's so great. And lastly, at the number one spot is Avengers Infinity War. Now, originally, I was going to put Avengers Endgame at this spot, but then I thought about this movie and how much states were at risk. And to me, this was the better movie, in my opinion, simply because Thanos won at the end. I mean, how many superhero films you watched in the past where the villain actually wins? Plus, you know, everything from the action to the acting to the screenplay to the performance of Josh Brolin as Thanos, which was terrific, by the way. Then this is damn near a perfect film. I mean, yes, there are just an issue here and there with this movie, but from the Avengers coming together and trying to stop Thanos and ultimately failing is what really sold me on this movie. Plus, it looks visually beautiful. When you have the Guardians of the Galaxy, you have a lot of characters in this film. You have SpiderMan, everything he does throughout this movie. And I just had a good time with this film. I laughed. I had a hell of a time. I enjoyed this movie very well, and all the storylines intertwined with this. And to me, this is just the better movie compared to Endgame. Nothing against Endgame, but this film right here is what really sold me on the fact that the Avengers lost, and for like someone more powerful than them. Seriously, this film is the best film that came out last year, in my opinion. And those are my top 10 superhero films of all time. I had a fun time remembering and reminiscing about these films before I did this review, and I certainly had a fun time. Okay, leave a comment section below. Let me know what are your top 10 superhero films of all time. It could be any films you want, because personally, those are your lists, and this is my list. Okay, this is Slum Guy 172 saying, peace out.